So recently I caught up with an old friend and she was telling me that she got divorced. And I was so surprised because her and her husband were such a cute couple and they had been together for 11 years. So I asked her, like, what happened? I figured something bad happened. She's like, honestly, I was just bored. Like, my husband, all he did was work. I was a stay-at-home mom. We had 3 kids and I just got lonely and bored. And she says that when she would bring it up, like, he would take her out, but it was just boring to her. Like, she needed some
chaos. She needed some more chaos and
anarchy! 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 She was just a mom and a wife, and her husband just wasn't doing that for her. And she had other friends that had, boyfriends, or like they had just got married and they were always going out, always going on vacation, always partying, like going to the club, going to the bar, hanging out with friends. And they did none of that. And when she would bring it up to her husband would always tell her, like, I gotta work. Like, they had a big house, they had nice things.
Yeah, because mortgages don't pay themselves. This is why Your Grace has become such a staunch advocate of the beloved 50-50 model, the daily humbler of the entitled succubus. A little sufferation a day keeps the
I don't need no man
away. Now look, I'm not saying we should have our women tarring roofs or welding fences, but they should feel that sense of dread we all know when that 6 a.m. alarm clock goes off.
They had a big house, they had nice things, like he was just trying to work. So they ended up getting divorced, and now, she's single, she lives alone, she's working, and she's dating.
And she now becomes berserker red meat. These are those 30-year-old single mothers that come to Bumble looking for $1 and a dream. Most of us hardened berserkers wouldn't give Sally Struthers 70 cents a month to save that little girl in Guatemala.
For about 70 cents, you can also buy a cup of coffee. In Guatemala, for 70 cents a day, you can help a child like Vilma get the clothes she needs.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
But this woman would believe that we would adopt her runny-nosed kids. Blasphemy. Okay, I'm sorry, Sally Struthers. I kind of lost my composure. But coffee costs a lot more than 70 cents nowadays. Anyway, my point is that this woman chose to be a bust down. That's why you should never feel sorry for busting down a bust down. Because remember, this was her choice. Just make sure that her Uber has some functioning AC, and she got enough ketchup packets for her Egg McMuffin on the drive of shame home. No qualms, no pity.
So then I told her, oh, well, that must be exciting, like dating and stuff. And she's like, no, I fucking hate it. And I was like, why? And she's like, because all they want to do is just have fun. They just want to go to the club. They just want to go to the bar. They just want to hang out, have a good time, and then that's it.
Yes, that's generally how rentals go. You use the product, have fun with it, and bring it back to the supplier. Remember, she wanted to have fun, but she wanted to have fun on other people's time and money. It's not fun to go out to bars and lounges and do all the fun activities they see Instagram influencers doing when you have to get up the next morning to go to work. It's also not fun when you see the bill for the miniature golf night on the credit card statement at the end of the month.
She said, no one wants to help me out. Like, I'm trying to find someone that's going to help take care of my kids. She's like, I just want someone to be a provider, not just a good time. So I was all like, well, wasn't that what your husband was doing? And she's like, I know.
One thing my uncle, Duke Survey Tosher, used to always tell me is that if you want a modern woman to agree with you, you gotta give her what she asks for. In other words, some women can't be reasoned with. The only way they can learn something is harmful to them is if they experience it on their own. Sometimes it might be something as little as letting her slip and fall to learn the greater lesson. However, sometimes it requires that you leave her completely for her to come to the right conclusion.
And I guess now her ex-husband is dating someone, like, seriously. They have been divorced for a total of 3 years, and he has been dating this girl for 2 years. She has 2 kids, and they're already living together. She says that he's fully taking care of her. Like, the girl doesn't work. She's a stay-at-home mom. They haven't had any new kids, but they're planning on having kids. And she's pissed because she's like, how can he move on so fast? Like, I can't even find nobody. And he just found someone so quick. And he didn't even want to give us another try. Like, blah, blah, blah.
Yes, this is what fumbling the bag really looks like. A lot of women don't understand how most men think. After this man got up every day to provide for you, and you turn around and file for divorce, he feels abandoned and betrayed. You are no longer his solace or his safe space. In fact, you now become an enemy of the state. You will never reach that status he had you at again. It doesn't matter that you're the mother of his kids. To him, you are still an agent of chaos. Even for the soft men that begrudgingly get back with their women, there will always be an aura of resentment floating around him. And you will both have to act like this presence is not in attendance whenever you're around each other. Happily ever after, right?
And I was so confused because I was like, okay, so you divorced him because he was always working and you were bored. So now you are single, going out, having a good time, dating, but you don't like that. Now you want someone to take care of you, a provider. And your ex-husband, all he wanted to do was be a provider. That's why now he is dating someone who he has no problem providing for her and her kids. And she's pissed because she's like, why would he go and find someone who has kids? Like, he already has kids. Why would he want to take on that responsibility? And I'm like, wait, aren't you looking for someone to take on that responsibility?
Ding, 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 ding. Exactamente. Now, I don't agree with this brother's chess move because he basically gave up one problem to literally adopt another one. But hey, maybe he knows something that I don't. However, I always find it funny how seamlessly modern women can compartmentalize their dating standards versus everyone else. She can clearly see that her ex-husband is taking on a bad deal, but she can't see herself as a bad deal. It's truly fascinating.
I was just giving her a hard time, I'm not gonna lie, because it was kind of funny to me because I was like, I could tell that she regretted her decision. I could tell. And I've seen a lot of people do shit like this where they get divorced for reasons that are not, I'm not gonna say they're not valid because everybody's feelings are valid, but they're fixable problems. Like, I don't know if you guys have this wrong idea of marriage that is supposed to be like fun and happy all the time. It's not. I feel like every relationship literally depends on compromise. Like, you gotta compromise something. You cannot have everything. And to be honest with you, like, if she was willing to give up on him that quick, like, maybe she just didn't love him that much. Because I cannot even imagine just me being like, oh, I'm bored, I'm gonna divorce my husband, you know? Like, no, you figure it out, you work it out. But I could tell that she's regretting it because what she thought she wanted is not what she thought she wanted.
Well, it's not because she doesn't love her husband and her kids. It's just that she loves herself more. I mean, isn't this exactly what we told modern women to do? Love themselves? Yeah, sister, love yourself more, right? If you're not happy, you should leave your husband, break up your home. Don't worry about those kids, they'll be all right. A little therapy will fix everything. What's more important is how do you feel? Are you happy? Are you having fun? And what do we tell men to do? The exact opposite. Sacrifice, sacrifice, sacrifice. Slave at work so your wife will be happy. My hands look like this so my wife's hands can look like this. Happy wife, happy life. Blasphemy, 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 blasphemy. All this so modern women can leave the sanctity of the home and hurl themselves into the insanity of the streets. It's time for a meeting of the minds, my brother. Time to reconstruct this flawed social contract. No qualm, no pities, my brothers. But once again, I've probably said too much. But wait a minute. You didn't smash the bell and press the like button. Blasphemy, blasphemy, blasphemy. And although you will never be worthy of a monarch such as myself, Lord Destro would suggest that you poor fools at least give oligarchy a try. So be Lord Destro has spoken.